Thank you for joining us today in today's session. I'll tell us a brief about Textilers for our community members joining us for the first time. So Textilers is the women-focused community. Our aim is to keep supporting women who desire growth in technology. We believe that we are amazing ladies with superpower and ability to use technology skills to solve real life, everyday problems, like even in cooking, even in household, in the office, in our professional lives, in our career, and even in our well-being. And our vision is to bring more women and men also who love women into technology by empowering us through skills, tech skills, mentorship training. The session is being recorded right now. You can use the Q&A. If you have specific questions, please pen down your questions. In terms of the announcement, we shall invite all of us, every single one of us, every one of us would like to invite us to Evolve. So Evolve conference is coming up, live and direct. We are coming up with Evolve Live and Direct. Just in case you haven't heard much about Evolve, Evolve is another celebration of ladies, another celebration of ourselves, men and women, tech experts, tech enthusiasts. We have community members showing demos of what they have learned and what they have done over time. We have leaders of industries come to talk to us about leadership. We're talking about the power of AI and how it syncs with education. We're having a panel session on everyday living, mental health, inclusion at the workplace. Registration link is open. I'm telling you, it's a virtual event and it's hybrid. We have virtual mostly, and we have a center in just Nigeria. We have amazing lineup for us, and it's next week Saturday, 26th of October, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. West African time. You can't afford to miss this. The link is also going to be in the chat, and we'd like you to buzz it, hashtag EvolveCoin, share the link among your WhatsApp chat groups, your community, on Discord, Instagram, IG, Twitter. Where are you that Textilers is not? We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, we're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. We have the website as displayed here. Follow us. We still have, while we're going on with the AI sessions, we'd like you to take advantage of the AI skills challenge it started 24th of September to 1st of November. So you can still take advantage of that. We've been learning about Copilot, ChatGPT, and some other AI apps. We'd like you to try the 90 days free sign up for Copilot. Here is a link. We'll also send it to every one of us. And this is about Evolve again. Text for our AI for all sessions is an all-round session, all-round training where we hope that we all learn lifelong skills, not necessarily to follow a certification path, but whether you have a technical or not technical background, AI is here, and so we're trying to equip ourselves for the future that is already here. Here's an amazing lineup of guests that we that have been speaking with us. We've had Introduction to AI Prompt Engineering by Sandhya. Sandhya is here again today to take us deeper into some common AI tools. We've had M365 Copilot with MJ. We've learned building your Copilot. We've used Copilot in Power Platform. We've used Olive took us through ChatGPT and how we can create assets, how we can generate wealth using ChatGPT, using Midjourney, using stock images. So we have a lot of these in stock for us, and today we're having discussions mainly and demos, not too much story. We are showing us live and direct what you can use AI for, and we're also going to discuss that AI is not going to take our jobs. There are opportunities, and yes, there are challenges, and Nihinlola will be taking that for us. So for today, we have Sandhya. She's an expert in GenAI. She's a co-founder and chief project officer at Data Science Wizards. Please, can I say round of applause for Sandhya? Can I see some hearts for her? She was here last time and now she's here again because I mean we love her energy. We love the fact that she's very equipped in what she has to deliver and she has been keeping in touch with us. Thank you so much, Sandhya. We really appreciate you. Thank you for supporting the community. Thank you. Her commitment, she's a leader at DSW. She spearheads project development. So yeah, she has a busy schedule, but she says she has to be here just to show us some more tools that we can use in AI to get our daily activities running and our professional activities running. Her commitment lies in staying at the forefront of technology and business, and she's consistently driving innovation within the dynamic landscape of data science and artificial intelligence. Ladies and gentlemen, let us do well to welcome Sandhya. Thank you so much, Sandhya.
Thank you, Lara, for having me here.
Thank you.
And hi, everyone. Very good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So, Lara, can we get started with the first session that we have?
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect. So, hi everyone. Myself, Sandhya, as Lara mentioned, and today, yesterday night I was thinking about this session, and uh, so we want to go through different AI tools that we can use in our day-to-day life, and which will make sure that it increases our productivity in day-to-day life, and help us to accomplish our task in better time, better management, and all of those things, right? So I realized that, why do we go ahead and, say, create some slides and, I explain you and everything, rather than I will walk you through each of the tool that I'm going to show you today, and in real time and in demo or in hands-on on that, and we can together go around it. You guys can ask questions, you guys can learn about it on live on the Google and everything. And you can together do things with me and ask me questions if you have any, and we together can learn on this session, right? So that's what my plan is. So I don't have any PPT slides today to show, but we will straight away dive into what I'm going to show you about. So the first tool that we are going to learn about is the ChatGPT, right? So we all know about ChatGPT. Being in technology, I'm sure that there won't be a single person who has not used ChatGPT, to just query something, or you get answers to something, or summarize a paragraph or information that you want to share it with someone, or do some research, or ask certain questions, like say that how do I cook this, give me a step by step recipe of the same, or like that. So let me, Lara, can you help me with the share permissions? I think the share is disabled for me, so that I can share my screen.
Oh, apologies for that. I have just changed it. Please confirm. Can't hear you if you can hear
Yes.
me. Okay, yes,
Yeah,
I hear you.
I have the share options right now.
Right. Thank you.
Um, Let me quickly share my screen. Yeah. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Yeah. So you might be seeing a Wikipedia page, right?
Wikipedia page and showing
So
ChatGPT.
yes. So before I get started, I just want to, know from the audience, is there anyone who, uh, who is not aware of what ChatGPT is? Anybody, like anybody can raise their hands or just put it into the chat that, I'm not aware what ChatGPT is. Perfect. I believe then everybody has that bit of a background because in the last session you have gone through ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is nothing but a conversational tool which is based on the LLM at the back end. So what is LLM is? LLM is nothing but a large language model which is trained on all the data that is available in on the internet, since ages. And big companies like Microsoft, like OpenAI, like AWS, Azure, and everybody, they have trained these models on certain parameters and certain token based parameters and everything, and they have made these LLMs available to us to be used so that we can find the information at the tip of our hands, just by conversing with the chatbots. So the original idea of ChatGPT or LLM came from the very traditional thought of having a chatbot, right? We have been working with chatbots a lot. uh, there was a time like 10 years back that every website, every tool must have a chatbot wherein, the user can interact with it and get the information rather than you going through the website or you going through the tool to find it by yourself, right? So that's where user engagement and user satisfaction was one of the driving force behind the evolution of chatbots. And that has, evolved further to make sure that all the information that is available to us on the internet is, if we as human beings can utilize it, for the best of our knowledge, and searching through those pages and everything becomes more and more easy through interface like ChatGPT. So the basic idea behind ChatGPT, as I said, is LLMs. Now LLMs is a very important concept that, which is a driving force behind a lot of things, and this is something that we can, read it here. Now ChatGPT, when it originally evolved in, say November 2021, right? So it came into existence at that time, and it was a phenomenal, you can say, innovation that has came, and everybody was so wow of it because you don't have to search through the internet again and again and go through pages to search for relevant information. Now originally, initially, what we used to do is that we used to, say, go to Google, right? Search for some queries. For example, tell me more about, sorry, what I'll say, large language models. So what we used to do is that we used to search in Google, then we used to go through pages and pages of information, right? And there was, say, so many pages, like, I personally have never went to any 10th page or third page or fourth page even, right, to get the information. So whatever we have here on the first page, we used to go through that, find our relevant information, pick up points, and, read about it and everything. Now even if I go to, say, for example, say large language models, right? I originally used to what used to do is I used to go through all of these information and find out the relevant points, and then read about it, understand it. And it was taking me ages, right? It was literally taking me ages. Just to go through all of these information, this is a hours and hours of task. And understanding that and keeping that, momentum to go through all of this information in one sitting, it was a task, correct? So that's where all of these challenges are being solved by ChatGPT. Now we know the background of it, then we can quickly dive into the tool, right? So this is how the ChatGPT interface look like, right? You can, when you land on this page, so I have just logged in into my account, and you can see that I have been using it quite for some time for all the tasks that I have. So you can just say do anything here. Say for example, you can Originally, when it was launched, it was not like this, right? It has evolved, right? So originally it was just a chat interface, just like, you type in some message and then you get the information. But over the time, because it has been in the market for almost 1.5 year right now, so it has given all sort of images more and more to build up the user, engagement. That the common task that you can do is like create image, get advice for any say course that you're doing. You can go through coding, you can summarize text, you can do more of the tasks. So they have evolved the interface over the time. But originally it was just like, tell me more about ChatGPT. So it was just that you converse it with it like you converse with a friend, who wants to who is like a guiding person for you, and it is telling you all the details about it, right? Rather than going to the Google search. So as you can see, I just wrote like, tell me more about ChatGPT, and it is giving me all the information, like what is the architecture behind it, which was introduced by Google in 2017. Then the fourth version of GPT series is right now in the market, and all of those things, right? It has all the capabilities of text generation, language understanding, reasoning, and problem solving, multilingual, creating of applications, and all of these. And it has also given you a lot of applications or where all it can be used. Now, the main aspect of ChatGPT, I would say a major application is being done by the content creations, right? Writers, marketers, creators, they use ChatGPT every day, to possibly um write things which is more professional, which is more toned, and without spending like hours and hours on it, right? But there are definitely some kind of limitations as well to ChatGPT, which it has by itself listed, right? What is the things and everything, like lack of real-time information, because ChatGPT was trained on, the original GPT-4, which was trained on, just the data that is available till April 2023, and GPT-3 is already trained on September 2021. So the information which has come after 2021, you cannot expect that kind of an information with GPT-3, right? And you cannot expect information that has come recently after, say, April 2023 with GPT-4 model that you're using at the backend. Another thing is context limitations. So if you want to say write a research paper, which is like 1,000 words, or, say 2,000 words, you have to uh, structure it in such a way that you ask the chat GPT to give you more information in number of prompts, right? So we all know what prompt is, because I had taken a session on prompt engineering, right? So you have to do that, and you have to be patient to ask it again and again the questions that you need to be specified that what all more information you need. It will give you the questions as much concise that it can be. But if you need to dig into details and everything, you have to send another prompt saying that, tell me more about the context limitations, tell me no more about the factual errors, tell me more about, say, lack of consciousness, and how can I rectify it, or how can I take care of it while I'm asking questions to you, or say ChatGPT, whatever it is. Then there are also things like bias, data privacy, inappropriate content, and all of these issues, which is like, now what is bias? Bias is nothing but uh, there are different kinds of bias. For example, if we have a data wherein we have 1,000 data points, and 800 of them are, say, you know, one class one, and 20% of them, 200 are from class two, then we can definitely say that the answer that it is going to generate is going to towards more on 80% side, right? Because that's what more it has seen, right? That's what the model has seen more. At the end of the day, it's a model, it's not a human, right? But people are working more and more to make sure that these kind of technologies are very close to human like thinking, and that's what they are doing right now, right? And data privacy is of course a major issues in using these kind of stuffs, wherein as a caution, I had also told you guys to not share any financial information or any personal information on ChatGPT, because it's at the back end, it is getting trained into their LLMs, right? So, for example, if you're sharing your image, or you're sharing your name, age, gender, or such kind of an information or bank details and everything, please be prepared for, like there are tons of hackers that are there in the world who is reading these kind of information from these kind of open evolutions that are happening, and the data set is available everywhere, right? So let's refrain from getting into the data privacy. So let's not share our personal information or bank or financial related information on chat gpts, right? So this is what more or less ChatGPT is about. Now let's dig it deep into, how can what all evaluation it has done. And so before going into that, I would like to tell you more about what kind of models are available in ChatGPT and what they does, right? So you can see that in November 2022, the first GPT version 3.5 was, made public, and that was being used for more of the information, and it was only trained on September 2021 data. Later in March, there's this thing called GPT-4, which was more advanced. The training data was, made it was launched on March 14, 2023, and the data that it was trained on was more than September 2021, right? And it's still active. So they have discontinued GPT 3.5 because that's again, obsolete information, and they have taken care of that in the next version, right? So GPT-4, now GPT-4 is more for the text-based task, and GPT-4o is more for the text, image, audio, video, and they have, made sure that they are also taking care of other kind of information that is available in the market, like image, like audio, like video, and everybody. And it's more faster and more capable than GPT-4. And also they introduced subscriptions, right? They initially launched it as a free version, but ChatGPT is no more free. There is certain limits on it that you can use in a free version, and then you can go towards higher paid subscriptions. We'll go through that. And now more and more. So GPTs and LLMs that we are talking about, they need huge and huge infrastructure at the back end, right? So if I want to develop, say, my own GPT-4o or GPT-4 on my laptop, it's not possible. Even on the company's, servers and everything, tons of servers, it's not possible because we need huge infrastructure to, train this kind of models. And, we need GPUs, we need a lot of GPUs, and a good number of costs spent on it to train these models. We need that kind of a data and everything. So that's not possible. But even if I want to download GPT, say 4o or 4o mini, then they on our laptop, that's a big task. But these mini versions which are being launched these days, they are making it more and more accessible for us to use GPT 4o for our own custom task, right? For example, if I want to take an LLM, from the open source world, and I want to expose my data to it in a very closed environment where I want that model should not be, in public, that the learnings and knowledge that I'm sharing with that model is not going outside of my organization or outside of my own, closed environment that I've built. Then in that case, I can make use of certain these kind of models, take them from the open source world, customize it to my data, to my requirements and everything, and then use it in a closed environment, right? That can be done. Now, but we are also moving towards more reasoning based models, wherein, as I told you, right, these people are working day and night to make sure that these GPTs and models are more towards, human-like thinking, right? So GPT-4o has reasoning capabilities. I mean, O1, sorry. It has reasoning capabilities. For example, uh, if you go to ChatGPT and say that, uh, tell me more about the reasoning capabilities of ChatGPT. Yeah. So it will tell you the details of it, right? What kind of reasoning it has embedded. So the more models now which are coming, they are more like human-like thinking. So for example, if you ask me a question, right, what I will do is that I will not start talking about it. But what I'll do is I'll take your questions, I'll register in my mind, I'll think about it, that how can I explain in a better way to you, and then I'll answer you in that, context. For example, you are asking me a question on say Indian food, right? So you are not, I know that you are not aware of what kind of Indian foods are there and everything. So what I will do is I will process it. I will make sure that my explanation is simple and understandable by you. I will think about it. I will frame my answers in that way that can be understood by you and then answer you at that point of time, right? So that's what the reasoning in action is, and that was reasoning capabilities is being, brought into these LLMs as well. So they think more like a human. They think and then they answer, right? So we are going in towards the era where we talking to GPT will be more like talking to a person, right, rather than it's just a machine, because at the end of the day we are talking to a machine. But other than that, there wouldn't be any difference that we can spot out. Yeah, any questions so far?
So far, we're good.
All good, right? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we roughly saw the basic capabilities of, asking questions. So we also saw what kind of prompts that we can use, the chain of thoughts, the reinforcement learning, that all types of prompting techniques that I've shared earlier on the other session, right? But there are also a lot of things, like if you go to explore GPTs, you can see that these people have made sure that they are, what do I call it, that differentiate different tasks and make one kind of a tutor for you, or one kind of an agent for you that you can use specifically for that kind of a task. For example, the code tutor, right? So if I go to code tutor and I say start chat, now this is nothing but, it will, if you want to learn coding, right, you can go to code tutor and it will give you answers specific to what kind of assignment you are talking about. Say, I am a beginner in Python, or say you can say teach me Python. So if you talk about like these kind of stuff, that I'm a beginner in Python, and you can say teach me Python, so it will give you a step by step answer to make sure that you understand Python, right? So it will specifically, this agent is defined for this task to make sure that you understand what Python is. You get started on it, and it has started with very basic of hello world, right? Hello world is like a hello in it's like an introduction to the Python programming language, right? So we can say, can you explain what you think this line of code does, and try running it in your Python environment? You can say just run it for me. Explain me. So it will behave more like a tutor for you, right? It will make sure that you understand and you practice by yourself, or you can say it has breaking down all the steps that you can perform on your own on your laptop, just like a tutor, like a teaching assistant or something like that. Now let's go to other things. Like there are also more and more GPTs, like image generator, right? So say for example, um create a beautiful sunset image with pink clouds. Let's see what it gives. Yeah, you can see, right? Such kind of image is very hard to find. You have to go through images on the Google search, uh, a lot of images on the Google search to find some relevant information that you want, right? So these kind of images is something that you can build with GPT as well. It's just generated this image in a blink of an eye, right? So that is something that you can do with more GPTs here. Now, talking about the day-to-day task, right? For example, if you want to learn Python, you can also go to GPT tailored for Python. So, it will give you more and more customized answers with respect to Python rather than, giving you general answers. Then there's this thing called Code Pilot, which will help you to build different applications that you want to build. For example, say, um, create an application for logging into an app and displaying a hello world when logged in. So you can see that it has literally given me the entire code for what I used to do in, say it used to take me like almost a day to uh think about the solution. If this is just a simple app, I'm talking about the real world scenario, right? When we want to say build certain screens, certain applications, or certain functionalities or UI for the model, the results of the model that we are doing. So it has taken Python TK in there because we were talking about Python uh as the library. But if you want to uh do it in React as front end and Node.js as backend. So I am very at a beginner level in Node.js and React. However, I do have the power to actually understand everything and make sure that I create an application in React and as a front end and Node.js as the back end, right? It's still giving me the entire code. It's giving me all the instructions that I need to follow. It is giving me all the files that I need to create, and even if you all the commands that I need to run to, get started on that now. And it has also given me the next step as well, right? So it's behaving like a co-pilot, that you are creating something and then it is giving you all the steps, all the things required to build that application, as well as the next steps that you need to do to make sure that uh, that application is built. Now, say, for example, if I just copy this and paste it, it will definitely do everything that needs to be done, and I can go to the next step of adding authentication for better security into my application. Guys, have any specific question in mind that you want me to go through it through GPT or something like that?
I have a question.
Yes,
Hi,
please.
Sandhya. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Olive. Yeah.
Hi. Okay, I watched a video. I was sent a video recently about a new update to
Mm-hmm.
ChatGPT, which is Canvas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then I saw that Canvas was included in my options.
Mm-hmm.
But I still don't really understand. I know they said collaboration, but I still really don't understand what it's doing. So I know it has something to do with code, but
Mm-hmm.
then I know that ChatGPT can give you code. So what's what is special about Canvas?
Yeah. So Canvas creator, are you talking about, or you're talking about more for Canva? So there are two things,
No,
right? Canva is known
n-
to everybody. It's
no, Canvas with an S. So it's an
Yeah.
update to ChatGPT, a recent update.
Okay.
Canvas.
So
So it comes as one of the options. I think if you have the paid, if you have ChatGPT Plus, I think it comes as one of the options as well. I'm not sure whether it's a GPT, um, as in whether it's listed under Explore.
mhm.
But I actually saw it in my as one of the options, how you have a 404 mini and all that. So one of the options I had was Canvas.
Okay. So
I
let's
know it's
let's
quite new though. Mhm.
yeah, what we can do is that let's go through, say, Canvas Creator, right? So let's take an example. This might be doing, right? So basically, the capabilities that it performs is like browsing, which is like general capability that you ask any question. It helps you to browse the entire information and give you, more summarized answer of it. Or it can also
Okay.
help you with the code interpretation and um, uh, data analysis. For example, we'll just go through that as well, and it will give you an access to DALL-E images. So DALL-E is nothing but another LLM, which is more customized for working on image generation and image analysis and so far. So it will have the additional functionalities of those. So let's say we just go to Canvas Creator, and we can say that prepare a PPT slide for a session on ChatGPT. Yeah. So can you see that I just said that prepare a PPT slide, and it has taken all the you say the structure, how the slide should look like, how the visual elements should look like, and everything by itself. And it has also given me a step-by-step flow of the session that it could do it, right? Say prepare a basic PPT for me, and that I can download and add necessary images where required. This is the information about. So do you see this analyzing feature? This is more like, there's certain code that is happening at the back end, right?
Yeah.
It has abstracted that everything, all that extra steps for us in just say analyzing, and it is doing that job at the back end, but it's not visible to us. But if we want to see it because of transparency, we can do that, right? There's
Okay.
some error that has occurred, but it has given us that as well. But it's still analyzing. What it will do is that
Okay.
it is more like an assistant to you who is doing your task. And if it encounters any error, or it encounters any hiccups or anything, it might possibly try to find any alternative of it, right? Just like a human does, a human assistant does.
Okay.
Say, for example, now it says that, just go to this link and download. Um, Let me quickly share my screen again to show you what I have downloaded and what it has generated. Yeah. Can you see this?
Yes.
It's amazing,
Wow.
isn't it?
Yes. Thank you very
So
much.
it's like, like it's like just like an assistant, but a quick assistant as well, I would say. It's just giving me the PPT in a matter of say second, or in just 2 to 3 prompts, right? And I can now
Mm-hmm.
even customize it. I can say that, you missed the images. Please add those It possibly might do it, but I think uh I have just reached the limit of using the GPT 3 version, right? So let me just quickly go to incognito, and I'm not logging in again, but yeah. So these are the functionalities that you can see. But yes. So this is how you can use GPT or chat GPT for your daily task. Now if you are a writer, right, you want to say write n number of things daily. You also don't want to now there are certain things like um detectors of AI generated content as well, right? So these people have also realized that, and they have created humanize AI as well. Now humanize AI is nothing but whatever AI generated content it gives you, it will make sure that it tones down in a more human language and help you with a more human readable format. And because if you might have noticed it, a lot of content on ChatGPT is very easily detectable because it used high kind of language, a more professional words and everything, which is beyond human capability, right? Because uh, only an experts in English would be using, 10 different expert words in say a single sentence or like that. But we as a human, we tend to talk in a more simple language with 2 to 3 words which we know by our daily conversations and everything. But yeah, that is something that they have realized, and they can just use this to make sure that we tone down in a more human language, and then use it in our daily task. Now for writing purpose, there are these more assistants that you can use, like fully SEO optimized article that you can prepare. You can have automated writer, you can have AI humanizer, you can say write for me, you can write n number of poems, right? Say write a poem for me. Okay, write a poem for me. I would say sunset. Yeah, can you see this? It's it has given me a poem as well.
Wow.
And even I can customize this, that say change it to a sunset with a view kind of poem. Yeah, it's just talking about sun, it's talking about shadows, it's talking about mountains, it's talking about silhouettes, it's talking about valleys and everything, right? So it's basis that a lot of tasks that was taking ages for us to complete, to come with this kind of a poem. A poet might need a lot of motivation, a lot of traveling to go to those places, see those, a lot of words and everything, research of it and everything, and then come up with such kind of a poem, right? But ChatGPT has given us just in a matter of a minute. So yeah, so these kind of tasks, there are a lot of tasks that can be done in say a blink of an eye, which was originally taking a lot of time. That we can even create a logo. For example, you are um what do you call, you are a startup founder like me, and you have just started, but you don't have much of a budget to hire a logo creator, a professional logo creator, and you want to just use something. So you can just go to these kind of applications, and they will make sure that they will give you certain kind of, you just have to converse with them, and your task is done, right? So a lot of things are there. I mean, for writing, you are there. For productivity, for example, Canva. Canva is a well-known tool for making presentations, logos, social media posts, and more and everything, right? But definitely, human has a cap on creativity, right? They cannot be creative all the time. So, these tools can heavily enhance their capability of doing such kind of task, and give them more motivation and options that they can present to the audience, right? the image generators, the video generators, the PPT slides generators. A lot of things can be used for research and analysis. Like if you're a student in, say, your final year, you want to do some very specific science research, then you can use these kind of tools, right? Like the Scholar AI, the Science Space, because they are trained, at the back end. It instantly access 287 million plus papers, the research papers, right? So which is beyond the capacity of human to read those many pages and papers and come up with some idea or research or solutions that they are looking for, right? And we can quickly go through perplexity as well. So there's another kind of a tool as well. So the basic difference between perplexity and ChatGPT is that ChatGPT is more like a you can say general task. They have come up with a lot of GPTs which are very specific to the certain task, but it's more like for research kind of a stuff you can use. But for perplexity, it's more like you want to get the also the links to the information that it is collecting. For example, um I'll just quickly show you a demo. uh Prepare an itinerary for visiting Paris this Christmas. Can you see this? It has given me all the answers, but it has also given me a lot of related material and the sources of it, right? So this is what is lacking in ChatGPT, that it doesn't, you know, tell you the sources that it has taken information from. But perplexity is more for the aspects where you need to know the source of the information that you are getting, right? So in that context, perplexity is a good tool that you can use. Now they also have similar kind of features like Discover, wherein you have some specific tools that you can do, that you have spaces where you can, upload files or set AI instructions, and you can create your own kind of agent which is there for some specific task that you can do. It's say brainstorm buddy, the art of war review, the questions to the Claude and everything. So there is a library also which will help you to see your own things that you're doing, right? In ChatGPT, you just see it here, right? Here, this is the library. So in Perplexity, it's nothing but you go to the library and see all your threads, right? Yeah. So there's one more thing that I wanted to share with you is the leaderboard. I mean, we should all keep a check on the leaderboard of the LLMs that are happening. So there are a lot of LLMs evolutions that are happening. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So can you see the kind of LLMs that are getting evolved? It's just amazing. People are, creating more and more LLMs that can be used for specific tasks and everything. Again, and you can see the benchmarking as well, right? So yeah, this is it that I wanted to share with you guys. You can use more and more of these kind of tools that are available. You can explore each and every one, to Excel AI, to video summarizer, to finance wizard, to marketing and everything that you want to do. And you can have the pro version as well. Say, for example, yeah, so the pro version has ability to give you all kind of uh, boost your productivity and expanded access, and it will help you to access to all the models that are available in ChatGPT. And there are certain limits as well on this, but you can have, so $20 is nothing but just you can it's like an assistant that you are paying to, so you can have this upgraded version and do it. I mean, then use it as much as you want, right? And you can also do it for business, like if you have a team of people, you can take the business plan, and then you can, distribute amongst yourself. So any questions?
Hi, Sandhya. There's a question from Ngozi. Can pictures be added to the Write For Me app on
Yes,
ChatGPT?
definitely. So if you give your prompt in such a way that, add certain kind of pictures in the writing and everything, it will do so.
Right. Thank you.
Any more questions or any more suggestions that you want to ask, or any. So while I'm here, I mean, I think we have another talk also after this. So I'll share certain information with you to get started with these kind of applications, which will give you more and more information on how do we use these applications, right, in a more better way, productive way, rather than just having some general context. So general, it's okay, but there are so many GPTs that are available for specific tasks that you can use, and make sure that you are productionizing your day more and more, and doing all of these tasks in a very specific time, and you just an hour's task can be done in, say, 5 minutes using these tools. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sandhya. We truly, truly appreciate you. And we thank you for your session, for taking us through ChatGPT again and Perplexity. We'll set now,
Yeah,
at least we've seen the difference between the both apps and we'll utilize them. So we also look forward to the materials you'll be giving us for further training, just so that we can, have more hands-on experiences on this. Thank you. And I'll be sharing that with every one of us once I receive it.
definitely.
I'll share that with the community too. Thank you so very much. So if there are any more questions, I would bring it to your attention. Right.
Sure.
Right. So right about now, I'm bringing up the next speaker. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like us to welcome our global president. She's speaking with us. She's speaking with us today. Her name is Nihinlola. She's speaking with us. I would rather say with us because it's going to be more like a discussion. We're talking about AI and ChatGPT collaboration. That it's not exactly that AI is going to take our jobs, but we have to learn how to collaborate. She's our global president and she's a prominent figure in the intersection of technology industry. Intersection, meaning that she has hands on AI, she has hands on governance, she has hands on security, she has hands on digital transformation, agile and product management, project management, enterprise architecture. She has been in the industry for about 2 decades. That's and so she's here. She's also a Forbes Council member, technology member, and she has a book already. She's a published author. The name of the book is Impact of Governance on Scrumban. For it has to do with agile management and project management. So she's here today just to douse any tension we have about AI taking our jobs, and she is dedicated to identifying talent and cultivating team member skills to improve team performance and efficiency. Well, we'll see that during her presentation because she's good at what she does. She holds many awards. She holds many offices. She's a founder, more than one-time founder. She's played many roles. She's a mentor in ADP list, mentor with Textiler. She's a mentor with loads of communities. And she's also a board member of the Institute of Innovation and Emerging Technologies. And she's the Chief Marketing Officer of the Africa PV6 Cybersecurity Task Force. Ladies and gentlemen, let us give a round of applause for Nihinlola Adeyemi as she speaks now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Omolara. Again, I'll just behave like the speakers of last week. Is it me that Lara just introduced? So you're meeting Ellie. So everybody calls me Ellie. Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here. I know we have about 24 minutes, so I'm going to run through these, but so that I can give room for questions and answers. And also, it's going to be very interactive. So if I call you, it's because I want to hear from you. Thank you very much, Sandhya, for the last session. And thank you to all the people, all the faculty that have talked to us all through this couple of weeks regarding AI. I know there's this myth for those of you that are here, maybe not. Maybe I'm sure for people that will probably watch in the future, watch this edition on YouTube. Everyone is agitated. They're like, oh, AI has come to stay. I pray AI, doesn't make it true so that we don't lose our jobs and all of that. Yes, AI has come to stay. Unfortunately, AI is not going anywhere, and the earlier we start to embrace that, the better for all of us. And is AI going to take your job? It depends on who you are, as a matter of fact. If you are a lazy person, AI would definitely not only take your job, but sweep you off your job. Right. So today we'll be looking at the impact of AI on job markets and the opportunities. And of course, there's still challenges. As the technology grows, there'll always be challenges. Same thing when blockchain came up, now quantum computing, challenges will always be there. But definitely in the next 5-10 years, it's going to be a different ball game. This is the contents of what we're going to look at today, the impact on the job market, the opportunities, and the challenges. Yeah. So we all know what AI is, artificial intelligence. So I'm not going to go there. But again, I need to mention here that AI is going to disrupt all industry. And while we're going through this session, I need you to think of and challenge me of an industry or a lifestyle that AI is not going to disrupt. And I'm ready and available to have that discussion with you today. So get ready. No matter the industry you are in, AI is disrupting it. Now, so what are the opportunities we're seeing in AI? What are the new opportunities? We're looking at opportunities like AI engineering. We're looking at opportunities like data science. We're looking at opportunities like machine language, areas that people have not even looked at way before now to say, are there job opportunities here? So there's a new field that, there are new fields that are coming up, new creation of jobs that are coming up. And I'm sure some of you will say, you know what, Ellie, I'm too old to start learning. But you'll be amazed that there are non-code areas in the aspect of the new fields that are coming up as well. Because I know a lot of people that want to transition into tech, because that's what Textilers is all about as well. Anyway, we're trying to increase the representation of women in the tech industry. So for those of you that are not non-tech and you want to come into tech, and now there's this buzz of, oh, AI, am I even going to fit into this tech world that everybody's talking about? I tell you now for free that yes, you can fit in, because there are several areas that you can actually be very relevant, with your knowledge, your capability in AI. And of course, there's AI ethics, which is very, very which I'm very, very passionate about. And this is something I speak about a lot as well. As much as we look at the opportunities around AI, we should also look at AI ethics. So these roles, right, will help you to design, deploy, maintain, and even create areas that people have not even thought about, and these are new fields in AI. So as AI is coming up and is growing and, is having its foot stamp in all industries, I think you should start thinking as an individual that, look, where can I fit in? What's my passion? What do I love to do? How can I put in my little contribution to ensure that I'm part of this AI evolution that is happening? Can you go back to the previous one, please, Lara? Thank you. All right. So again, while looking at that, we should also look at apart from looking at the new fields, we should also look at the tech-related fields as well. Of course, the tech-related, we've heard of data scientists, we've heard of data analysts, we've heard of, people building robots and all of that. So these fields are fields that people are now looking into, and there's a gap. So the lots of countries are looking for engineers in this area that can help, in establishing this AI dream, AI journey that we are all talking about. So again, we also, for people, those of us that are on this call or are going to watch later, that are maybe certified trainers, you can always be an AI trainer. You can always be, for those of you that are IT auditors, you can also audit AI. There's so many aspects of AI that you can actually find yourself. Can we go to the next slide, please? Thank you. So where are the opportunities in AI if I'm not a tech person? And you see, again, I'm going to say this. Gone are those days where people are afraid of coding. I mean, look at what the last speaker has just showed us. With ChatGPT, you can actually get your codes. All you need to know is the ABCD or A to Z of coding, and you'll be able to understand what ChatGPT is giving you. So life has just been made easier as far as I'm concerned when it comes to AI. So AI, of course, is going to help you automate. And you see, from wearing my cap of product management, you go to as an individual, you see, you go somewhere, or you're in a company, or you're in the process, and you're like, look, this process is manual, this process is time consuming. How can I help to make it more efficient? And that's when you start thinking of automation. And that's when AI comes in. So AI is like a ready-made job for everybody. So I don't see anyone say, look, AI is going to take my job, except you are not thinking. You don't even have to be a critical thinker. But as long as you can think of something, you're still thinking, your brain is still functioning, you can always contribute and you can always make money in AI. And you don't have to be, you don't have to be afraid that AI is going to take your job. You solve problems every day. Try and use AI to solve the problem. If you say, oh, Ellie, I don't have the capability, I don't even know how to code, I don't know, look for people that can do it. Design, have an architecture of what you're thinking about, and you get people to design it for you, and that makes you an inventor. That makes you, create. You, as a matter of fact, you would have created jobs for so many people as well, right? So same thing with customer service, marketing. You notice that these days, when you go to a particular, I mean, it's been on for a while. If you go to a particular site, to just look for something, let me use Instagram, for instance. The next time you're opening Instagram, you see loads and loads of that particular item you've looked for, because they've done customer profiling. They've done, the AI has been able to profile who you are as a person, and the last your journey, your what do you call it, maybe like your fashion journey or whatever journey you have, and it's not pushing to you what you need. So it's more like a personalized marketing. So you can look at where you are and say, you know what, I'm a salesperson, I don't even know anything tech. So start looking at how you can use AI in that area. And of course, we've heard of a lot around AI in manufacturing. You're probably working in a factory, and you do the manual hard labor. Sad story. AI is going to take your job. But how can you help yourself to look for opportunity in that area? Yeah, you have to start thinking critically. Now, of course, every employer, entrepreneur, organizations, countries are like, wait a minute, this AI is making sense. It's productive. It's helping us to be more efficient, and is helping us to grow our revenue. So obviously, they will start looking at automating processes. And when they automate processes and they increase revenue, they will definitely increase your salary as a worker. So are you going to sit back and continue to do that mundane job, that monotonous job, and think that, oh, without me, I'm not going to share my idea with anybody? AI is going to come and take that job from you. So you had better start thinking without the box and start looking at areas where you can have that automated. Can we have the next slide, please? Thank you. Again, another opportunity is where you can augment the human skills with AI. And what do I mean by that? If you look at the health industry, for instance, especially in the West. I mean, it's also happening in some areas in Nigeria as well, where AI has started doing surgeries, but the thing about it is, again, this will go fast forward to the challenge. Yes, we have surgeries that sometimes will take you like 8 hours, 12 hours, with AI, you can do it in less than that time. But again, when you look at the, augmenting human skills and AI, when a surgeon opens up a patient, right, and needs to remove, maybe, let's say, for instance, fibroid, and realize that, oh, wait a minute, there's a cyst going somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I stand to be corrected. For doctors, I'm sure they won't close up that patient to say, you know what, you have to come back next time because we discovered there's a cyst and we have to remove it and all of that. I'm sure they'll remove it almost immediately. But then again, because the AI is being modeled such that, look, go in there, if you see an image like this and it has this features, that means it's a fibroid, and you just take it off, right? And AI is not going to look around and say, oh, wait a minute, I see another thing, I see another growth here, I think there's cancer somewhere and all of that. Now that this patient is open, let me just quickly take it off, right? So there's a need, we still have that, there's need to still have that collaboration between human and AI. So you see, it's not going to completely take your job, but there will be like a collaboration eventually. Can we go to the next slide, please? And this is also applicable. Let me give another example. This is also applicable in the legal aspect. So for the legal people, you notice that, especially in Africa, Nigeria, where I am, you notice that for the legal aspect, you find that there are so many documents that are like, histories section, this section, that, case studies, cases that has happened, but they've never, been on the system. But thank goodness for AI. So right now you can actually upload those documents into the system, and it's easier and faster for any lawyer to just go and search for a particular case, make reference to that case, and move on. So there are different ways that you can actually be part of this trend that is going on right now. You can have new products, you can enter new markets, think of the markets, you can enter it with, with the automation. You can have new applications. You saw what our last speaker just did now with the, what was it now? The code co-pilot. Yeah, I know, I jotted that down. You can actually build your own application, and you can look at an existing product and say, you know what, how can I enhance this product? How can I make it better? How can I ensure that, the waiting time for customer is less than the standard time that we currently have right now? Can we go to the next slide, please? No, I think you skipped some slides. Sorry. No, please go back. I think it's slide. Can we see slide 9, please? All right, 9. 10. Thank you. Thank you, Lara. So another opportunity. Okay, so here we are. I don't know about you, but for me, I want to be part of those guys that are going to, in the year 2030, that'll be billionaires in dollars and different currencies. And I tell you why. Because if you look at this trend, right, the global trend says that there's a progressive increase, right, when it comes to AI. So why do you want to sit back and say this AI is not for me? I'm not even going to get into this. Or you're being, let me use the word religious about it, to say, no way, I'm not jumping into this train. But there's money to be made in this train. As much as we're looking at the opportunities here, I mean, we're going to talk about the challenges as well. So for you that, I mean, you feel, you know what, 2030 is just it. Between now and 2030, I just want to make this money. Then you start looking at how you can use AI to enable your processes, and what it does is it gives you real-time information. You don't have to wait for, like, assuming you're a C-suite, you're on a C-suite role right now, and you need information about the market share, you need information about what revenue you've made in the office or whatever. You don't even have to wait for your CRO to give you that information. Right now with AI, all you need to do is it's already plugged to your database. You run analysis on it, and AI will give you accurate. Unlike if you have to use human or someone that will feel, okay, I'm not feeling too well today, I may not be able to show up at work, and you have a meeting or you have to meet with an investor, you need to pitch, concerning your products, and you don't even have that information. But with AI, you can do all of that. So you can imagine this space, this global space. Right now, it's saying as of 2023, AI had made revenue of $196 billion. That is huge. And there's a 36.6% increase between this year and 2030. So why don't you want to jump into that train to say, you know what, even if it's just 0.001% of this 36.6% increase, I want to be part of it. Can we go to the next one, please? Of course, we know what AI has done in the financial sector. It's done a lot. You go to some banks. I'm going to use Nigeria as an example. I remember the first time that we had a robot in customer center of one of the big banks in Nigeria, and everybody was so excited. Everybody wanted to use the ATM gallery at that bank, because they just wanted to talk to the robot. They just wanted the robot to say hello to them and have that conversation. And surprisingly, to hear the robot call their name, was so personal to them. And so you can imagine all the people at the customer center at the banks, what's going to happen to them. But again, they can also upskill and see how they can help with their processes and enhance, the revenue of the bank. Again, so if you say, 2030 is actually rather too early for me to be a billionaire. There's still 2031. So it just goes to show that there's a progressive revenue generation when it comes to AI. And it cuts across all. It cuts across, can we go to the previous slide, Lara, please? It cuts across the entire continent. If you look at the left-hand side, you see North America, you see Europe, you see UK, you see Africa, you see Asia. It cuts across. So you need to say to yourself, where do I belong? How can I tap into this? I know last week, Oliver had showed us how we can make money, and that wowed me. So you see, from your little drops, from what you learned last week, you can actually be part of this trend that we're looking at. Can we go to the next one, please, Lara? Thank you. Hello. Thank you. Now, so for those that feel, okay, you know what, by 2034, I'm going to be comfortable enough to be in that trend. By then, people like you and I will probably be looking at making trillions by then, because this is actually, by then, we'll be talking about 3.6 trillion, in AI. And of course, where else do you want to be if you don't want to be on this train? Next slide, please. Now, so while looking at this opportunity, I know I talked about, yes, AI is going to take my job. I need to start thinking without the box. How do you do that? You have to position yourself to also learn. And that's why Textile is here. We're here to give you free of charge learning. So you need to jump to this on this trend and come into this community and learn as much as you can. I mean, for the past couple of weeks now, you can imagine the various aspects of AI that we've been able to touch. And you cannot sit back and say, you know what, I can't do this. There is nothing you can do if you put your mind to it. I always tell people, tech can solve any problem. All you need to do is study. And life has been easy. Look at what the last speaker said. You don't have to go to, I remember then when I was, doing my PhD, we go to Google Scholars, and you now have like a 1,000 titles for a particular maybe a 1,000 articles, I beg your pardon, for a particular title you're looking for. So you have to download all those articles and you have to start reading. And with ChatGPT, life is so sweet. So why won't you want to upskill? Why won't you want to reskill? Why would you want to sit down and expect a different result doing the same thing? Can we go to the next slide, please, Lara? Now, another good thing that AI has also done for us is remote work. You find out that a lot of people right now are like, they don't, you wonder, as much as I mean, you've heard that a lot of people are leaving Africa, to go to the West, to look for job, to look for better life, better standard. But a lot are also staying back. You know why? Because they can stay back here and make that money and change it and also live good, right? So they're doing a lot of remote work. They're doing a lot of freelance work. You find out that most people are in the comfort of their room, right? And they are just making money. They can do like 3, 4 jobs at the same time, and they're making money and they're enjoying themselves. So AI is make life so easy, and you wonder, how are they monitoring those people? Are employers so comfortable saying that people are working outside this region or outside their country? There are lots of tools that people use to monitor this. There's Connect Team, there is Jira, there is Trello, there is, name it. There are lots of tools, and people deliver, because you know that you also need referrals. So people deliver and life is easy. So there's this work-life balance. People's life are, getting better by the day. Looking at job creation in AI and tech-related fields. Remember I told you that AI has come to stay, and AI is going to disrupt all industries, no matter the industry. And I stand here to argue with us at the end of this presentation to tell me the industry that you think AI will not disrupt. If you say marriage, I'll give you an example. So we'll get that back to that just later. Now, if you look at medical, I'll give you an example of medical. In art, if you look at art as well, I'll give you an example in art. You find out that these days you have AI images, right? And in those AI images, you don't even need to look for an artist to draw anything for you again. If you are a lover of art, you don't need to look for an artist to do anything for you again. You just go in and draw your own image, have your own what's it called, design, and you print it, and voila, you're there already. So going into manufacturing as well, I've talked about that. Machineries. Before now, our forefathers used to go to the farm with their hoes, with their cutlasses, but now you see tractors, you see more things coming up. There's agri tech, there's health tech, there's insure tech, there's fintech, there's tech in all aspects. Think about it. In manufacturing, very soon, chemists, pharmacists, name it, people that put the drugs together. All you need is just clean data, model the data, put it in a robot, and you bring in a lot. Because the good thing about it is these machines don't get tired, unlike human, right? So they produce more, there's more revenue, and people can go to bed with both eyes closed. You understand? I mean, look at, I just gave an instance now. You can imagine if it was a robot taking this session, there wouldn't have been a break. That was a good example, right? Because there's no distraction. The robot is already modeled and everything is just going as planned, right? So there's no industry, think wide and far, that AI is not going to disrupt. In the military, of course, I'll give you an example, a very good example. And the example is that very soon, or rather, let me not be pessimistic. If there's ever going to be another world war, which I pray not, it's not going to be by machineries. It's not going to be by gun. It's not going to be by what's it called? Machine guns. It's not going to be like by, I don't know what those equipment that they use, rockets or whatever it is. Trust me, it's going to be by tech. And it's not even robots. You can imagine, just imagine right now, close your eyes and imagine that the entire internet shuts down. Do you know what that means? Remember what happened with was it CloudStrike some time ago? That there was almost everything on apart from drone. I'm even talking tech. I'm even talking software now. That the entire Microsoft, all the people using Microsoft train stations in abroad could not, were shut down. Hospitals, people died and all of that. So you can imagine using that weapon, you know. So it's going to affect every area. Research, oh yes, that's already happening. We just saw what the last speaker did, you know, research. Marketing, right? It's going to affect marketing. I already talked about that. Transportation. I heard there's something right now in Lagos State, Nigeria, where you don't have to pay with cash to get into this local buses, that you have to just pay through a card or something. So you can imagine. So also in the entertainment industry, there is it's going to disrupt entertainment industry, because of course I'm sure a lot of you have heard of IPv6, right? This is where you can stream end to end. Before now, maybe we stream like maybe 300 movies. You are talking of 300,000 movies. You don't even need a WAN or a LAN or whatever. You can stream from 2 devices together. That's where technology is. So AI is going to do a lot about job displacement, but you need to position yourself. Next slide, please. Yeah, again, this is talking about job displacement. When you talk about data entry people, you know, I talked about customer service guys, all those low-level jobs. I apologize for saying that. AI is going to take over, but how can you contribute to ensure that, you know, you can help in that area? All right, please go ahead. Next slide, please. All right, so again, you remember that I talked about skill gap, that there are some skills right now that people are looking for, you know, AI engineers, robotics, data scientists, and all of that. Several skills that people are looking to hire, you know, so that they can build more and push out more and ensure that AI is, you know, relevant. It cuts across all industries. So right now, there's that skill gap. For those of you that are, you know, saying, look, where can I fit in? Begin to identify, go to ChatGPT, you know, get an analysis of the skill gap, identify the skill gap, and get into, you know, learning. And yes, I'm going to round up very soon. Get into learning and ensure that you know, you're part of it. Now, the skill gap and inequality, you know, you realize that the for people that have low skills, like that have low skills role, right? It might be a bit difficult for them, because already they're not used to, especially in areas that they're not used to retraining and training. But you have to have that personal development. You know, you have to say to yourself that, you know, I have to continue to learn. I remember when internet started in those days, you know, a lot of people are like, no, I'm not going to get into this. But you'll be amazed the caliber of people that are online, that, you know, on the internet. My father is 85 years old. He's on all the social media you can ever imagine. As a matter of fact, because of him, I left Facebook, because I realized that he added me, I accepted, and he went ahead to add all my friends, you know. And for some reason, they're like, oh, and he introduced himself. Oh, this is Lola's father. And everybody was like, oh, yeah, you know, and he's always having something interesting. I said, you know what? No, this man is not going to bring down my steez. So I ran away from social. So you can imagine TikTok, 85-year-old. Of course, he doesn't have anything to do, but he's relearning and, you know, upskilling himself, because he also doesn't want to be caught up in this trend that is going on. And, you know, life is not like he's doing this for money, but he's just doing it because he enjoys it. So if that kind of a person can do this, how much more, you know, you're young, you know, you still have a lot ahead of you, and you can make money out of this. Quick inequality. As much as AI is here, right, there can also be economic inequality, where we are concentrating on a particular aspect of AI, or in a particular industry. What do I mean? Maybe the government of a particular country says, you know what, we're just going to put all our resources on health, you know, AI health and all of that. There's no spread, right? So you realize that the gross income of that country, when it comes to AI, you know, is in health. Let's take China, for instance. You know, they're doing quite a lot around AI, right? So you can imagine if they're just concentrating on building infrastructure with AI, build a house of 12-story buildings in a week or in a day or that kind of a thing. That is, it's usually is concentrated on one place. So there needs to be a balance. So government needs to start looking at how they can balance, AI across board, and that's the only way that you can increase revenue for any country. Next, please. I'm almost rounding up. So another one is ethical. I told you I'm very big with ethical and regulatory. Now you say, oh, AI has my information. I remember the last speaker also said, please be mindful. I'm sure I think Oliver too said it last week. Please be mindful of the information you have on AI, on ChatGPT, because your information is going to be used. It's there, open. So it's best that you have, if you want to put in your information, that you have the paid version. At least you have an SLA and NDA that covers you there, right? Now, for me, I say, you open me up. I go for a surgery, you open me up, right? And um, you already know what's inside of me, right? Let's use the health sector, for instance now. So there are some things that is already in the AI, saying that, oh, she's got this, she's got that, she's got 2 millimeter length of lung intestine or whatever it is. But that information, um, AI is not going to tell me afterwards that, look, I have this, I have your information. So there has to be something ethical about it to say, look, as we go into you to do this surgery, all the information we gather, sign off and let us know if we can use this information for future references. Or areas where notice that most times when you apply for job on LinkedIn, right, you just automatically see this structured response that says, oh, sorry, we've decided to pick someone else, even though you're blah blah blah. And the responses all look the same, and you're wondering what's going on. Is it that they have the same staff? No, it's the AI. So sometimes AI can be biased when it comes to humans. So government has to help in looking at the how to regulate it and the ethical aspect of AI. AI shouldn't have all my information, even though I have my information there. There has to be a consent, this GDPR and all of that when it comes to AI. Next slide, please, quickly. All right. So again, this is still talking about AI being fair, AI being transparent, AI telling me that, look, this is what I'm taking as against, because I put it there on ChatGPT, unknowingly everything disappeared. Everything has been used. Can we go to the next one? Now, if you realize now, it looks like all the economy in most countries are struggling, and it's because of the AI that is just coming in. Because AI that is coming in now, there's a short-term um, effect of it, and there's a long-term effect of it. So it's drawing a lot of revenue. People are learning, they're doing a lot of research, and is affecting the economy, so to speak, as AI is growing, as we're learning more about it. But over time, we realize that people will start deriving, revenue from AI when it becomes very stable. I was saying 5 to 10 years time maximum across board, across the entire world. So right now there's a disruption in the short term because everybody's trying to find their feet, in AI. Next slide, please. All right, so how do you balance this? Now, in schools, they start using AI. Very soon, I tell you, the next 5, 10 years again, you have robots teaching our children. You have all the bricks will no longer be there. People will start learning from home. And, we need to start letting our children understand that, look, AI has come to stay. This is what AI has to offer. Schools need to start teaching from elementary what AI is all about. Because, I mean, like I said, AI has come to stay, so it's not going anywhere. There has to be policies around AI. There has to be ISO standard. There has to be governance around AI. And of course, there has to be human collaboration. I'd mentioned that before. AI can't work on its own. There has to be human collaboration. And the ethics again, the governance again around AI has to do with audits. who audits the data that goes in? Because garbage in, garbage out, you know what they say in tech. So who audits that data that goes in to model that AI to do what it's meant to do? All of that needs to be in place. As much as the good people are trying to make AI work, the bad guys at the dark web are also looking at how they can take advantage of what's going on. Next, please. All right. So again, in conclusion, we need to work hand in hand together to ensure that we, in our own little space, we contribute and we jump on this train to ensure that, we are part of this success story of AI. AI is not here to take your job, but you need to upskill. You need to learn. You need to imbibe continuous learning, because you need to be innovative, you need to be creative, you need to be strategic, you need to contribute. I gave a phrase sometimes when I was speaking that, look, tell me which industry AI is not going to disrupt, and I mentioned marriage. You'll be amazed that very soon, you start having AI spouses, where people would say, I've had people say, the millennial, the Gen Zs say, look, it's so difficult. The economy is so bad. It's so difficult. I can't even imagine getting married because I can't afford it. I mean, these ladies are very expensive. Before you know it, someone is looking at that area and say, wait a minute, why don't I just create AI, everything that a lady can do for a man, and just create it, and it comes at $10,000, and people can buy it and they know they bought it, and that's it. Not like the AI is going to ask for a bone straight, or his AI is going to say, I want LV bag, or I want this, I want that. So you have to look at it from every aspect, and I'm open up for questions to discuss, areas that you think AI cannot disrupt. Thank you very much. I apologize for taking your time. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Wow, Ellie, thank you. Oh my God. It was the last comment you made that got me laughing this much. Because I'm thinking, seriously, how do you want to have an AI spouse that will do everything? But yeah, there is no limit to ideas, and there is no limit to human imagination. So we'll keep our fingers crossed. There's a question though there's a question you had touched on briefly. That was asked by Joanne. She was asking that what courses and subjects should parents, teachers, professors, and education policy makers advocate for in primary, secondary, and tertiary institutions, because current curriculum seems to be setting kids up for failure. It appears they are ill prepared for the success of the future. So I know you had mentioned it a bit. So maybe just take a few minutes to just talk about it. And it's also one of the discussions we'll be having during our Evolve conference. We'll be diving deep into such conversations and discussions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joanne. That's an excellent question. So our
Absolutely.
curriculum is trash, and I'm sorry to say it is absolutely trash. I think for me personally, I mean, I've had the privilege to have different um generation, as children. I have even Gen Zero right now, with the Gen Z. And it hurts me so much to see that people spend 4 years minimum, or 3 years, in as it were in the UK, to study, and they come out and what you study does not even collaborate so much with what you're doing. I mean, it's even a lot better now. In my own days, trust me. Um, Almost 30 years ago, we had I read computer science. We had courses like Fortran, COBOL. Who does that now? Nobody. So right now, I think educators and governments should sit back and say, what can we do? It's not the number of years, for crying out loud. I mean, if a child can finish from kindergarten to 18 and finish the entire curriculum of education, but specific. So parents should also help. identify what that child is good at, what the talent of that child is, and begin to train that child in that aspect. I mean, if government is not ready to do it, if educational sector is not ready to do it, then parents should take it up to say, oh, this child is very good with animals, or this child is very good with painting, and start introducing courses that can help. And good enough, there are loads and loads of free courses online that can help that child develop that talent. Then we will build a better economy, because a lot of people will start making money at early age. People won't start doing horrible things or thinking of even doing or even hacking. They won't even think of doing bad things to get money, because people know that from the early stage they can start being creative. If the person wants to do wants to be an entrepreneur, wants to build business and all of that, help the child, to start looking at subjects around that area that can help build. It's not if I know what I know now, if I knew what I know now, rather, like 10 years ago, I probably wouldn't let my children, go to university. And I tell you for free, because I just realized that it's so, if you take them out of that system and teach them what you see that is their passion and they want to do, they will grow in it and they will start building generational wealth. They'll start building, become creative, become innovative. They want to do more. They want to make the world a better place. But right now, we're just putting in, some curriculum that doesn't even make sense, and it's probably not going to help. I hope that answers your question.
So my question is, how do you think we can probably make them have interest or educate our leaders? Because that is where it will have to start from. The way we think and do things. How can we restructure them?
Thank you very much, Osaze. That's a fantastic question. If you remember during the intro, Lara mentioned that I'm in two communities or institutes, whatever it is. One is the Innovation Emerging Technology, where I'm a board member. That's part of what we're doing to, push innovation, push emerging technology to the government, in our own little way. Now, I'm also the CMO at IPv4 Cybersecurity. And again, all these are non-profits. We are also pushing it to say, look, we can, when it comes to social media, Nigeria is like #1 in Africa, with our presence. Now we're trying to also push this narrative to government to say, let's use technology to drive a lot of things. I don't know if you're in Nigeria, but I know recently the Minister of Interior has done a lot around international passports issuance and all of that. And that's just the beginning. Yes, it's going to be slow, but trust me, it's not going to be up to that 20 years. Because a lot is happening right now. Did you ever imagine, if you live in Nigeria, that there will be smart homes in Nigeria like 10 years ago or like 5 years ago? Right now, almost all the homes on the island in Lagos are smartphones, smart homes. Everybody's, oh, Alaska this, Alaska this, Alaska that, Alaska that. Out of fun, people have started taking up, AI innovations coming from tech. And I know the reason why you said that is because of the election. If only we can have a centralized database and get it right, trust me, all other countries will be running after Africa. We're very smart people, and they'll be running after us to see how this is being done. I know we will get there if we can just continue to push. All right, so we also do mentorship. Thank you so much, Bolatito. We also do mentorship, right? And I'm sure Lara can arrange something. Otherwise, I also do free mentorship on ADP lists. Lara can drop my link, or on Google Tech Maker, women mentors. So we can talk about it, or you can check on LinkedIn. I have my LinkedIn there. You can book an appointment. We can have, I love to encourage people. I love to mentor, and don't worry, it's free of charge. And we can talk more about this. So if I know your passion, I can direct you on which aspect of AI to go into, no matter what you do. Even if you're a full housewife, trust me, you can get into that AI.
Wanted to just kind of give a response to the gentleman that spoke earlier. I wanted to say that in Nigeria, if you pay attention to the youth, you understand, the youth are definitely way, way, way ahead when it comes to tech and when it comes to AI, you know. And not only are they getting this knowledge, they're also teaching others. I've attended some trainings on WhatsApp, in various areas. So even AI, last year I learned about AI, generative AI and stuff like that in Nigeria. You understand, in Nigeria. And then there are all these youth giving these, we hear about tools that we haven't heard about before, you know. So, sometimes we don't know how it will happen. But what I know is that it's not every individual that is waiting for the government to do something, right? So they're empowering themselves with knowledge, with whatever, skills and stuff like that. And who knows, it might just start the other way around. Do you understand? Where it will just take us by surprise that once the youth or the younger people get into government, then we know we are sorted. And it's going to happen sooner than we think. So that's what I wanted to contribute. Thank you.
It's been a lot. It's been a lot. From all our sessions, for all our speakers, we want to say thank you. Thank you to Rialin. Thank you to Sandhya. Thank you to Joy. Thank you to Olajumoke, to Jazri, to Foyin, to Olive, and now to Nihinlola. We say thank you very much for making AI for All a very successful outing and successful session. We Indeed, the idea for the AI for All session was for us to build all-round skills and not necessarily to, prepare us for a certification course, was for us to have a lifelong skill, no matter if we're in tech or non-tech. And I believe to some extent, to a large extent, that we have achieved part of that. And so we've sent, if you are not in our email list, please let me know so that we can add you to our mailing list. We have updates of everything we have done on AI for All. You can check the recordings on our YouTube channel that has been posted to, and follow us, join our community. Let's have more engagements going on.